Overcommitting by saying yes to everything is a huge no-no.
What is up? Welcome everyone back to Together We Are Stronger, Leadership Straight, No Chasers. And we've talked about the aspect of clarity, but when we look at everything around us within the world, the people that we're around, the voices, everybody's got opinions. The situation that you have to be mindful about is that noise that may clutter and make it hard to maintain clarity. And so that is where it really drives down the values, having that clarity piece of what you're trying to achieve, and then looking at who is speaking up, who's giving their opinion, because everybody has 2 cents to give. It's just, is the 2 cents gonna work for you? Is it gonna put you forward, or is it something that's gonna take you off track? And so, George, when you think about the aspect of clarity and dealing with noise, has it been one that it's more of the noise really grabbing you? Or has clarity been kind of that driving force that has helped you out? Or is it just something that is taking place as you go along your journey?
That's a great question, Scott, because when things happen to you in life, when life throws you a curveball, in a sense, you get distracted, you got people yakking in your ear, people who you truly thought were your friends sitting there yakking and talking smack, and whatever the deal is, you really lose control of what your clarity is. And for me, it really hit me sideways with it when Holly and my family went through the loss. I thought I had friends, of course, and it's not to reinvent what what we talked about before, but you try to have a clarity to move forward, to keep moving, to go through the crap, right? Move the freaking mountain. And you always will have distractions on the side. You always want people, there's always people on the side yakking and talking smack and putting you down. See, what we were seeing these days is people's not uplifting individuals. They are taking a look at certain things in your life, your mistakes, whatever, and they use it against you to put you down. And the biggest thing you have to overcome is that noise. I mean, what's going on in the world today? What happened to Charlie Kirk? And we're not going to talk about, but look what happened. And it's, again, another distraction. We got to work on things that are in front of us and get things taken care of. Because without clarity, you drift instead of direction in your life. So you just kind of you just fall apart and you just drift like you're on a raft with no oar, no motor, no nothing. And you just sit and hopefully you find an island. And that's how life is. You get to a point, you got to cut the noise out. You got to dig in and find out, because what's going to happen when you focus on that clarity and you got all this noise happening around you, and it's always in the 360 degrees. When you bust through that and you overcome that, man, let me tell you, that's a great feeling, because when you have clarity on that, what you want, what you're getting, and everyone in the back is just talking smack, and that's why the windshield's bigger than a rearview mirror. The farther you go, the farther you push, you don't hear that noise anymore. Now, you still have stuff coming around you, but if you know how to focus on your clarity, you're really not going to you won't get stopped in a sense. You might stumble here and there, but you can pick yourself up and go, because, again, it's about aligning yourself and not being a perfectionist. It's about aligning yourself to clarity. Keep moving forward no matter what's going on around you. And man, I tell you, Scott, that's been a challenge for me. I am a husband, a father, a friend, but you want to take care of everyone. And you learn from mistakes that you can't please everybody, no matter what you do. You can't please anybody. And you surround yourself with people who care about you to make sure that you're moving forward. You have accountability. That's some of that is clarity. Is when you have someone calling you up and say, "Hey, man, how you doing? Doing pretty good. How's business? What are you doing now? What's going on?" And you have that relationship with people. That clarity kicks in because there's someone looking out for you. And for Scott and I mean, it's the Lord looking out for us. But it's good when you have friends around you who want the best for you. And that clarity does help out.
I think really when you have that clarity, when tough times come up, that is one of those that is a driving piece that can help you overcome
Mm-hmm.
the tough spots. And it's a very interesting thing just because we talked about clarity a couple episodes and we're back on the topic, but I think when you look at a lot of people, lack of clarity is what a lot of people are possessing. And
Yeah.
so it is the aspect that this is the basic foundation that you got to build around. The clarity is going to allow you to know what to lay down, what to let go of, and really filter who to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
But that also feeds into your tribe because ultimately that would be your circle of influence in regards
Yes.
to who you're really going to be listening to, who you're going to be talking to. And without clarity, you're going to let everybody into your circle. And then you're going to get 10,000 pieces of advice, which at the end of the day, that's going to overwhelm you. And so ultimately, I think when you look at the closeness of the tribe, it's 5, 6, no more than 9 people. That's what I would go off of.
Yeah.
It's going to be different for everyone, but you don't want too many voices that can be a distraction and then cause you to have too many options to consider, which is going to
Yes.
end up causing a lot of the paralysis by analysis when you see a lot of people try to take everybody's advice in
Yes.
regards to what needs to take place. And so that's where that power of clarity comes in to filter the advice that's given. Because the thing is, even with people in your circle, that advice that they're giving you may not be ideal for you. And so it might not be the time for action on that one. And so that's also another filtering piece to really sit and say, is that piece of advice necessary? Is it going to
Yes.
help me out going forward now? Or is it something that maybe isn't for this time and I need to put it to the back burner? Or it's just not anything that aligns with what I'm trying to accomplish. And so that's the thing too is with your tribe, what's spoken there is not gospel. It's not set in stone. It goes back to the fact that what worked for one person may not work for somebody else.
I
But
agree.
that tribe is those people that you really know and trust. And at the end of the day, they have your best interest in mind and you're not going to get led astray. So it is very unique in regards when you look at the power of clarity and having that as a filtering system for taking an advice, who you talk to, everything of that nature. And so that's really the power of having the clarity to have a better filtering system than just running everything through and then trying to chase everything.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you. And being in the tribe, and what's great about the tribe, we talk about this subject, is that you get to sit down with people that know you inside and out. You know them. And sometimes the information they give you is great information. and maybe it doesn't work for you. But sometimes, if you think about it and take their information, kind of turn around and fits your situation, you can make it happen. And on the clarity part, you just can't say yes to everything. You're overcommitting yourself. When you're around 10,000 people or you got 100 people around you and everyone's giving their advice and you're saying yes, 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 what happens is you spin out and then you're on that raft in the middle of the ocean, not knowing where to go. So overcommitting by saying yes to everything is a huge no-no. And another thing you have to do is you have to have some peace. You got to take a minute out of your day and focus on who you are, right? You got to focus on the three things that your goals that you want to accomplish. With the noise around you, you have to be good at blocking people out. Number one, if you get a lot of noise, you need to cut the people out. Let's just be honest. You can be friends, play golf in the whole works, or go work on cars. But if you're going to, and you want to be successful in whatever you're doing, sometimes it's cutting out those noise and to have quiet time, to reflect what your goals are. And you need to focus on those goals, because if you got everyone talking to you and you're taking, your goals go out the window. Your quiet time to yourself. We all have that. We all have that when we're driving in the car. You stay off the phone. We have that sitting in your office. You got to take that time for you, and that's how you cut out the noise. I made some bullet points. You know, that is priority is the three values or your goals. That's what I'm talking about. Never have the fear of missing out. Do not chase friends instead of staying grounded. See, a lot of times people chase friends. Why aren't they calling me? Why aren't they texting me back? You know what? I don't care about that anymore. It's because when you're chasing, you're really not doing any good, right? So stay grounded in what you do and stop listening to outside information. Focus on with the people around you. Read a book. Focus on your podcast. Be around people who are positive, that want you to win and to see you have success. And when you have that time yourself, write three things down that don't align with you. Write them down. Write those three things down that do not align with you. That's how you start cutting out the noise. That's how you start removing people from your life. Eliminate a distraction that steals your focus. Phones, TVs, negative voices. That kill you. That will take you down. Really, guys, Scott, we could talk about this again all night. But when it comes to clarity and cutting out noise, it's all about the individual, how you can handle it. Be around people that care for you and love you. And if it's family members, is it a good friend who's been a childhood friend, or a mentor, or someone you talk to over the phone, you have a coach. You focus on those individuals. You put yourself in that area. You put yourself in the box, because all the outside noise, we're going to have noise all the time. There's noise going on right now. You got to focus on yourself. You got to focus on the prize. And that's, I know it's easy for me to say it, but once you learn how to do it, and once you know what's going on, you just keep moving forward. You move that mountain.
But I think one of the things that you talked about was the power of silence, and taking that time, 20, 30 minutes, having no distractions, being in a room, and really allowing your brain to sort through whatever it is. But the flip side of that, though, is a lot of us don't like silence. It's very scary. And so not enough of us are doing it. And so that's where you allow your mind to go and find answers, come back and help you fill in those blanks, because your mind is a problem solving machine. And
Yes.
so by taking that time to just be present, you're going to be in a better position to lead others, to make an impact in the lives of your clients with the business that you're building. But the flip side with a lot of people having that fear is, if I take that time and do 20 to 30 minutes, what am I missing out on that could be making me money potentially? I would challenge that thought though, and really say that by taking time to yourself, quiet, no distractions, the 30 minutes that you're giving up there, if you take it seriously and actually tap into it, you're going to be in a better position, and it's going to open up to reach bigger levels. And
Yes.
also that loss of income that you're scared of, because I think that's the biggest thing. Or what am I missing out on by not having that 30 minutes filled with busy work? So it is the opposite thinking that a lot of people end up getting stuck on, and start thinking about what am I going to miss out on. If you are worried about that, you're focused on the wrong thing, because you're centered to everything. And if you're not taking care of yourself and you're not allowing your mind to go help sorts and discover answers for you,
Yes.
you're just putting yourself in a worse position by not allowing that time to take place. And it's hard. And so I understand, probably some people are listening there, they have resistance to that, and they're like, I'm never going to do that. I would suggest trying it and seeing what happens, and trusting the process. But it is the fact that you got to flip and overcome that fear factor, that fear thought. And so that is one, because we've been told, if you're not busy, then you're not being productive, and all this craziness that puts us all out of whack. And so
Yeah.
there are things that you have to adjust and get rid of, and that's one of those, that you don't need to be busy 24/7. Like, you're an individual, you have different things that have make you who you are, and so you need to give time and focus to each of those sections of who you are, instead of allowing emotions to run you and then end up really hurting you in the long run potentially.
Well, I'm going to add to that quiet time. The one thing you have to think about quiet time. Quiet time is basically pick up a Bible, pick up the Bible and read. Pick up a book that keeps your mind moving forward, is a positive input. Yes, when you are quiet and, you know, and you're sitting in your room, you're thinking about a bunch of stuff. But if you take 30 minutes out of your time to read a good book, read 5 pages, read how to be better, do personal development, you know, learn something in your field that makes you stronger. You know, we have these electronics in our hands that you really can do anything. It doesn't mean to sit in your room and look in the corner. What it means is that put your mind on something that is positive. Take a look. Today's Thursday. How's my week been? What can I do to make it better? How can I help clients out? How can I grow my business? Write it down, right? But that time alone without all the noise allows you to have clarity and come back. It's like in sports, when you have a break in that, right? It's time to think about, okay, what I done, what I could do better, and everything else. And anything that you do, you can allow yourself to relate and reflect how you can get better and what you can do. Again, eliminate the distractions that steals the focus again. And that could be anything, right? Majority could be people. But the times that you have by yourself, you have to truly Pick up a book and read. Find something that in fishing, whether you like the bike ride, hunting, whatever it is that takes you to your happy spot, that gets you to relax, to focus.
Hmm.
That's what you need to do. Don't sit in the room, turn off the light, and shut the door. You don't do that unless you like that. But my quiet time is just sitting, and I'll take a look at my phone, look at what videos, podcasts, something that I can relate to. Scott will send back and forth, and you read those. That motivates you to the next level, and all that noise starts to disappear. And again, watching the news every day is a distraction
Mm-hmm.
of what we're doing. Sports can be at well too, but again, it depends what you love to do. If you love to read, pick up a book. If you have time to just take a walk, take a walk. You know, find what you love, stick to it, and keep moving forward with it. Because we're going to have noise no matter what day. No matter if you're 20 or 62 like me, you're going to always have noise. And you have to deal with it.
I think the biggest thing on that is having an intention, set an intention for that time. And so, because the intention is going to bring that focus to your mind, which is going to drive to really extract and be a beneficial aspect to you.
No.
It may even be during that time you just let your mind wander. And so we get so busy and we don't give time to allow our mind to wander. And so that could be one of that ultimately is what you need to do. And so it just allows your mind to sift, but don't beat yourself up that if your mind's wandering, because your mind is trying to sort different things for you. And
Yes.
so it is that opportunity to allow yourself to have that break because we're so busy. And so I think a lot of that too is with being busy, we forget that we're center to everything. And so you need to make sure you're giving yourself that time to really filter stuff through your clarity lens and then finding out exactly what it is for you, whatever that next step is, whatever that next action, the next person you need to speak to, whatever it is. But it comes down to the intention piece. And so if you don't set an intention, then you're not really going to have any outcome that's going to benefit you. So that's one of that. You just have to, this is the intention for what I'm doing, and then running with that. So like I said, it's very interesting when we look. The idea, the topic of clarity is one that it's that basic foundation piece. And so if you haven't done and created that foundation, it's going to be hard. And so you got to take that time, really have the intention for whatever it is, and then build out whatever that is to go through that clarity lens to help filter. And then that's going to help you out with making those moves, talking to the individuals, reaching out to whoever it is, and making those moves to get to the next step. So it really comes back that there is a lot that we have to deal with. And so the noise is constant around us. So that's where clarity is big for you, and having that intention and really taking that time to yourself, carving it and honoring it, because you'll have some people be like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then they don't honor it. And that's not good too. So you got to honor this because this is just part of that process. So,
I mean, you got to simplify it. You got to cut out commitments that do not align what you're doing. I know that's a simple way to put it, but you got to cut out things that you get a commitment to, and then it doesn't align to whatever that is. I mean, it could be all kinds of different things. You know, protect your boundaries. Protect about what you're going to do, what you're trying to accomplish. Don't let the negative voices get to your head. Don't let the negative people around you. You got to cut those people out. You know, it's the old saying is that Would you take marriage advice from your uncle who's been married 10 times? You're probably not going to do that. So you're not going to really listen to him, or a individual that lives at home and lives with their parents and they pay for everything. You're not going to take financial advice. Don't take advice from people, because if what I mean by this, if they are negative and you join their club, you just bought their lifestyle. And what that means is that now you're on that bandwagon. You're joining forces that have, all you do is antagonize people. Get off that thing. Get off the bandwagon. Be yourself. Surround your people, even if it's yourself right now. And maybe it's your girlfriend or your boyfriend, your wife, a family member who believed in you ever since you came out of high school. Be around those people, because you will find your tribe. You will find those elements that come in, the pieces, like what I was thinking, the Rubik's Cube. It just kind of pulls together those forces. And I'm just telling you, you got to surround yourself. You got to cut out the noise. And that's sometimes individuals that are in your life.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, like we always share, if there was a nugget in here that really resonated with you and you have somebody that is stuck, and that's another thing too, is having somebody that you can walk with when clarity isn't there fully, because having another individual around to bounce ideas off, to express ideas, anything of that, to get a different perspective is going to be a powerful thing, because we're social creatures. We're not meant to do life alone. And so that is another aspect that, as you're sharing this with whoever it is, that could be that individual that is your accountability partner, the individual that's there to help you out. So be a friend, tell a friend, share this with whoever you're coming across that is stuck and they just need a different thought, a different idea, a different perspective. And let's rise together, because ultimately together we are stronger, and it's going to take a tribe and a community to come together and do bigger and better things, which at the end of the day, we're here looking to help business owners overcome, really move forward and carve out to make that impact in the lives of others and serve those ideal clients that align with them as that business owner. So
let me just say one thing before you close, Scott. I just thought of it. When you find clarity, and you will see people who will be watching, and when you find that clarity and you're moving forward, I promise that people will ask you, how did you do it? How did you get that clarity? And remember, we talked about leadership. We talked about sharing knowledge. When you come out of clarity with all the noise, you will have somebody who will ask you, how did you do that? I want to know. See, by doing that trend, you will see people jump off the bandwagon and join forces with you. Now you are creating your tribe. Remember, you're not alone. You always have people who are willing to help and willing to take care of and listen to what you got going on. Scott, thank you for allowing me to jump in. Go ahead and finish up, my brother.
Enjoy the journey, and other than that, we'll catch you on the next episode. Growing out, getting bigger, working together. Together we're stronger.